now what happened in 1938?
In 1938, while I worked in my uncle's place, Hitler made what they call it in English, plebiscite, election. They asked the people if they want Austria to be part of Germany, Anschluss. And the vote came out 99.9% for Hitler. So I didn't know from anything. One of the co-workers talked to me about the election, and he always was, before the war, before Hitler's time, he was a social democrat, he was a communist, I don't know. I was not interested in politics, but I never heard him saying anything against the Jew. He was a good employee till then. And his name was Franz Frisch. I still can't forget this one. And he said, we talked about the election. And I said, with my big mouth, I said, the election war geschoben, means was, what do you call it here?
Falsified?
Huh?
Falsified?
False, yeah. Because was not an open election, was not a secret election, was open. They knew everybody what they were voting for. So people were afraid to vote against it, even if they wanted, you know.
What about yourself, your family?
So, I don't know what my mother was voting, things like that, I don't know. I didn't vote, I was too young for that. And Jews couldn't vote anywhere, besides that. No?
They were not allowed to vote?
No. Jews were, I mean, that was the beginning, there was no laws yet. Everything was
Chaos.
a child's wild, you know. So as I said to that Franz, I said the elections were not, I can get the word now.
But they were false.
False, yeah. He said to me, how can you say such a thing? You know, he surprised me with the way he changed. He went right away on the telephone and he called the SR. SR is the one with the brown uniform and the swastika, you know. Not even 10 minutes later, the two SR men came with rifles and arrested me.
Was SR, was that the police?
They were not police, they were the political guard from Hitler. The police was still, they were always, the police always was anti-Semites, you know, but you could deal with them before Hitler's time. But here was, right away they turned too. Everybody, you know, like the wind blew, they turned. And so was this employee. So they arrested me and they took me to an old school, they call it the Karl Warenberg-Gasse school. It was a regular school, but a real old one. They threw me in the cell on top of piles of coals and potatoes or whatever was there. They threw me down and they interrogated me. What you call it? Was not a gentle interrogation with rifle butts and they accused.
Who interrogated you? Those two that brought you?
Not only those two, they Nazis, civilian, Gestapo. They didn't introduce themselves who they are. No, but was no regular policeman. It wasn't a Nazi party. They interrogated me and they said they accused me of being a communist. Besides a Jew, being a communist, and that distributed zettel, what do you call it? Leaflets, political leaflets against Hitler. That's what they accused me. I didn't know for nothing. I never was involved in any politics. The only thing I would say, I used to belong to a youth organization, Rote Falken, they call it, long time ago. It was Social Democratic. But it was not for politics, it was for sport that belonged there. We played football and soccer. And also, I belonged also for a short time to the Hakoah. I wasn't too much with the Hakoah because they were in the second Bezirk and I was in the 21st. It was too far away from home, you know.
But Hakoah,
Hakoah, there was a Jewish
organization.
organization. They had soccer teams, they had everything, swimming. You know. I belonged to them, but I didn't follow up too much because geographically I was too far away, you know. Because most Jewish people in Vienna lived in the second Bezirk, so that's why they were there. So anyway,
So you feel that this Franz called them and
he called them, that's for sure. He was the accuser. And not only that, so when I was there, and then about 2 nights I was in that school, in the cellar. They beat me up. I was a bundle of blood and meat, and you know, I couldn't see out of my eyes. I couldn't lay down. I couldn't stand up. Nothing. I thought that's the end anyway. So
when was that?
that was right in the, I would say, what, a week or 10 days after the march, in the end of March, 1938. And then what was next? Yeah. Then they took me to a regular jail.
From the school?
In the, no, it wasn't a regular, it was a police jail in the area I was from. And there my uncle and aunt, which were the owner from the business, they were there too. They arrested them too. And I couldn't talk to them. They didn't let us be together, but I saw them, you know. They were arrested also. And the next thing was they sent me to another school, a big school in the Zweiten Bezirk, in the second Bezirk, Karajangasse. There was already maybe a few thousand of Jews in that school, laying in the classrooms, on the floor, and all over. You know, they put them there. They were arrested. People who were arrested. And all right, there we were not interrogated anymore. At least they left us alone, but we didn't know how long we're going to be there, for what reason, and what's going to be with us, you know. But anyway, it was not any more that interrogation.
But over there you saw your uncle again?
No, my uncle and aunt I didn't see till after the war in Israel. They immigrated to Haifa.
So in the jail you didn't see them anymore?
No. I don't know how they got out, and anyway, they got out because they were in Israel. So from there, I was there a couple of weeks or so, and then they sent us to the regular jail in Vienna, where all the criminals usually go. And
Did they send everybody from that school?
No. I don't know what happened to other people.
They just pick you out?
Me and maybe others. But in jail, we were in a big cell. There were maybe 50 people in that cell, a big one. Only Jews, all for them. So one day, they make us lining up. They said, Himmler is coming. Himmler, who was the head of the Gestapo and everything. Huh? So they warned us, when he comes, everybody should announce their name and say that I'm a Jew and things like that. So when he came, I forgot to announce my name, but I forgot to say I'm Jewish. So Himmler himself, I can be proud of it, he gave me a smack in my face. He says, Mr. Jude, like that they talk. Well, anyway, that's just, I remember, maybe not important.
No, it's very important.